Story 1, AITA for canceling all of our streaming services to hire a housekeeper without asking my husband first. My 28F and my husband 30 meters just welcomed our first baby almost 3 months ago. Understandably, it has been a huge adjustment for both of us. She's still not sleeping through the night and we're both back to work full time. We have always split the household responsibilities 50-50. We just help where needed and it's always worked out well. Lately, my husband has been doing the chores terribly and I've had to come behind him to fix things or clean them again. For example, he cleaned the bottles the other night and they were cleaned so poorly I had to do them again. He dropped pump parts down the disposal and then ran it, ruining them. There have been several clothes that he didn't clean after a blowout that are now ruined. There are many more instances like this. I've confronted him a few times, letting him know we all make mistakes and I know we're both tired, but it feels like Hess not even trying to do things well. He just keeps saying Hess so tired and is having a hard time working and taking care of the house and baby. I do sympathize with this as I'm also working, pumping, recovering, and taking care of the house and baby. The final straw for me was when he told me to go to sleep and had put up the milk it just pumped and finished the dishes. I was so grateful until I got up and realized the milk had been sitting on the counter and at this point was no good anymore. He said he was sorry and he put on a show to relax for a bit before doing the dishes and fell asleep. The next day I decided to cancel all of our streaming services, PlayStation Plus, and our theme park passes in order to hire a housekeeper. I figured if Hess too tired to do basic household chores, then a housekeeper is necessary. If Hess too tired to put milk up, then Hess too tired to play video games or for us to go to a theme park. We still have cable and the PlayStation games and can do other activities outside of the local theme park. He blew up at me and said I had no right doing that and was furious. I thought I was doing us a favor so we can get more sleep and not worry as much about household tasks. So AITA for hiring a housekeeper without asking? Edit to add, I see a lot of comments about communication. I have been communicating nonstop about my needs and my expectations. I've let a lot of mistakes slide because I know this is hard for both of us, but when it became a daily thing I let him know if Hess unable to do his part, then I need additional help. I mentioned hiring some help, and he laughed and said what a ridiculous waste of money. I knew if I asked again, the answer would be no, so I made the decision for both of us. Also, I didn't throw away the TV or PlayStation. I just canceled our subscriptions for them. We were paying around $100 between the two. Our internet includes a handful of cable channels and Peacock, and we have plenty of PlayStation games that we can still play. We both play video games and watch TV. I probably watch more on streaming, so canceling them affects both of us. Housekeeping is $300 a month and everything I canceled including Disney passes is about $230, so it won't be as much of a financial burden. Plus it will save more money as well since I won't have to replace destroyed pump parts, clothes, and breast milk. Bonas Mill says, wait, did you cancel these things in order to afford the cleaner service? Or did you cancel it because you think it's taking up time? Savior01 says, America sucks. No way should a parent be back working full-time after having a baby. As a father I got 5 months full pay leave and my wife went back part-time after 12 months. TK Wander says, at first I was like, everyone's the here, you're treating your partner more like a child than a partner, you should have talked to him first and discussed. But problem is, after reading through your post again, he's not acting like a partner, he is acting like an errant child, so I can understand where one can get to the point of thinking fuck it, why do I have to be the adult? I can't keep doing things on my own because my partner is no longer being my partner, he is being an additional child for me to take care of and clean up after, so, slight ESH, but mainly NTA for me. I can completely understand where you're coming from, and streaming and gaming is a shit ton less valuable than professional help for you guys. Especially when you still have cable and PlayStation games and can do plenty of other outside indoor activities. The world doesn't revolve around streaming and Disney World priorities. She shedded in for those saying, well, he's trying, too. Let me tell you something. Breast milk is gold. You do not just leave that out on the counter, even if you're dead tired. That goes in the fridge right after he tells his wife to go to bed. The fact that he went and played video games first is so much more telling than, well, he's trying. That's not trying. Putting pumping parts plastic and not anywhere close to looking like something that would go down a disposal unit down the disposal and then running it and breaking it. That's something I'd expect a 10-year-old would do. Not a grown-ass man. Story 2, AITA for bringing my daughter to a child-free wedding. Hi everyone. I'm a 19-year-old mom to my beautiful 2-year-old daughter, Amelia. Just a bit of backstory: last year, I was asked to be a bridesmaid in a family friend's wedding. I was thrilled and immediately said yes, even though it was a child-free event. I had arranged for a babysitter, but about a week before the wedding, she informed me that she would no longer be in the city and couldn't watch my daughter. Given the short notice, I approached the bride and asked if I could bring Amelia to the wedding, as I didn't have time to find another trusted babysitter. My daughter is overall a very easygoing baby. She's comfortable with people and happy as long as she's fed. The bride knew this since she'd watched my daughter on multiple occasions before, and she happily agreed, saying that having Amelia there would make the wedding photos even more special. The wedding was going smoothly, though I noticed a few stares from the groom's parents. Amelia stayed with my sisters for most of the day, but during the reception, I took her with me to congratulate the couple. As I approached with Amelia in my arms, the groom's mother suddenly commented, "You shouldn't have brought a baby to a child-free wedding, especially when she doesn't fit the family." I was completely taken aback. For context, my daughter is mixed and half white and half Hispanic, and her father is black. I've been called whitewashed because I'm not in contact with my Hispanic family, so I knew exactly what she meant by saying my daughter didn't fit the family. The bride looked shocked, and the groom immediately stood up and led his parents away. Taking this as my cue, I decided it was time to leave. I made the rounds to say goodbye to everyone and put Amelia in her stroller. As I was leaving, the bride came over to apologize for her in-laws' behavior. I was upset, but I knew it wasn't her fault, so I simply wished her luck and left. Now, about a week after the wedding, I got tagged in a Facebook post. Strange, because I don't use Facebook. The post read: "I'm outraged that my grandchildren weren't allowed at this event, but when a teen mother who couldn't be responsible enough to leave her child with the father brings her baby, it's perfectly fine." The post was from the groom's mother. To make things worse, she's also been telling family members that I'm lying about what she said regarding my daughter's appearance. So now I'm wondering, am I the asshole? Update: Hi again, everyone. I first want to start off with a huge thank you for all the advice and reassurance. That said, before I go into this post, I've seen a few racist comments towards my daughter and remarks about my age and how I ruined my life. I am extremely happy, and so is my daughter. She is beautiful, and it is terrible that people in this world will take their self-hate out on a 2-year-old. Anyways, I wanted to give an update and clarify a few things after read on the feedback I received. First off, I do have a Facebook account, but I don't use it often. I only found out about the post because someone sent it to me on messages, which is how I saw the groom's mother's comments. Regarding Amelia's father, he couldn't take her that weekend because he lives a bit farther away and struggles when plans change last minute, especially when it's not his scheduled days to have her. On top of that, my family members who I would trust to watch Amelia were all attending the wedding, so there weren't many other options. Now, some of you mentioned I could have dropped out of the wedding, and I want to address that. Dropping out of the bridal party was actually the first option I presented to the bride when I realized I couldn't find a new babysitter. I didn't want to complicate her big day. However, she didn't want me to drop out and reassured me that it would be fine to bring Amelia. So while bringing my daughter was the second option, the bride did have the choice of me stepping down if she had preferred that. Yesterday, I spoke with the bride again, and she told me that she explained everything to her making it clear that it wasn't my fault Amelia was there. It was a decision made between her and her husband. She also revealed the real reason behind the child-free rule: it wasn't directed at all kids. The bride had been trying to avoid having her mother-in-law's grandchildren there because they had been nightmares at other events, as described by the bride herself. The bride didn't want to cause any more drama by openly sharing that reason, so she kept it under the radar. I feel a lot better knowing that my friend still supports my decision, and am relieved that the real issue wasn't about me or Amelia. While I'll definitely be more cautious with similar situations in the future, I'm glad I prioritized Amelia's safety and well-being. Thanks again to everyone who shared their thoughts. I truly appreciate it. Monarch of Donuts says, "Oh, NTA. I opened this thinking I might vote differently. It's not cool to just swan into a child-free wedding with a kid, but you had responsibly made arrangements that fell through, then correctly asked for permission to bring your daughter. That permission was generously given by the bride. It was not the groom's mother's place to decide who could and could not attend. Given the nasty things she said on that day, and the drama she's so determined to stir up online, it is very obvious that the groom's mom is TA in this situation. You did your best in a rough situation. She, on the other hand, only seems able to do her worst." Ambitioso says, "NTA sounds like the groom's mother was upset by the no kids policy and wrongly took it out on you. It also sounds like the groom's mother is a dim-witted racist dingus." Duke113 says, "NTA. Bride said it was okay. And groom apparently agreed based on the fact he took his parents out of the situation. Those are the only two people who get to say thanks for watching. I love you. Follow Reddit Echoes for more.